Without a shadow of a doubt, it's the Crumpest Show in social media history. I want to welcome you to another episode of the War Zone. I got my man in the building, Donovan Sadiq. I got the Queen, Demetri K. And I got the money man, Walter Couture, in the building. And I'm the 5-star general. Say, man, tonight my man gonna lace you to the game. Tell you where you need, what you need to do, where you need to go, how you gonna get to the bag. I need you to get a pen, a piece of paper, and let's get to it, man. You feel what I'm saying? So here we go. Say, man, I want to welcome y'all to another episode of the War Zone and tell you thank you for tuning in. Man, without you guys, we would not have a show. So I really appreciate you tuning in as well as our co-host, because you're the best audience in the world. And with that being said, it's only right that we do what we do. I'm gonna start it off with a couple of things. I figured out why they're trying to keep or trying to sweep the Melanie Lyons case under the rug. I figured it out. Somebody forgot to tell the world that there was a sheriff's deputy that worked for the Calcasieu Parish Sheriff's Department who has a contract with Walmart. They forgot to tell us, Demetri and Donovan, that the man was missing. They couldn't find him. And what was so strange about it, my man resigned his position the night of the murder. They can't afford for this to come out. Well, guess what? I just snitched on you. It's coming out. So it ain't going to work. And then I got my hands on something else. The young lady Reagan that is accused of stabbing Melanie Lyons to death, it seems like she used to like to go to Walmart and fight people in Walmart all the time. How do I know this? I got the video of one of your last fights that you had before Melanie Lyons. And it's a crystal clear video. I got something for y'all in Calcasieu Parish. You might want to get your mind right. And lastly, Donovan, there's an African-American mayor in St. Martinville, Louisiana, that's being tormented by 2 white council members and a black council member that can't figure out if he black or white. So I know you paid under the table, homeboy. I'm doing the research on you as we speak. So you can expect for me, the community in St. Martinville, Louisiana, the OG is coming. You will not disrespect my black female politicians no more. And I'm going to tell you something, Demetri. Watch this. When they had white mayors, they're trying to change some of the charter. Watch this sound crazy. They want the mayor to be a part-time mayor. But when you had a white mayor, you didn't have a problem with him being a full-time mayor. Not on my watch. Donovan, what's going on, my friend?
All right, you guys, welcome to the Thursday edition of the War Zone. This is the money day. This is what you got to do. Walter Couture is going to talk to us about some money. And I did invest in the Tilray stock, and I made a nice little chunk of change. Sold just in time. But in the news, the prosecution has rested in the Donald Trump thing. Tomorrow starting will be his defense lawyers. Good luck with that. It ain't going to mean a damn thing for you because it doesn't put any money in your pocket. Joe Biden doesn't give a damn. And that's where that is going to go. But I want to say this. Congratulations to one of our longtime listeners, Tara Taylor, who is an awesome person who has invested and done, things with her money. She's been chasing the bag. She has invested so much and done so much that she was able to have enough money to put down for a nice house and, do all that other good stuff and still have about I think she told me about $2,000 after the put down to do whatever she needs to do so she can furnish her house and do whatever she needs to do. So congratulations to her. This is what this program's about. It's about sharing ideas, teaching, and as well as us learning from what you guys are doing and doing all that. So not really much going on in the news other than the same old, but we are here to get the money and get the bag. And we're gonna be talking to Walter in a minute. Demetra?
Well, before you start, D, we got another audience member, and I'm gonna just call him Terrence the Park Man. And he's so thankful for you guys, Demetra, Donovan, and Walter for sure, for teaching him about money, that the man went out and started his own business, worked for the government, started his own business, and is thriving, and he blowing it out the water. And now he taking all the info that we done gave him and what Walter done gave him. The boy done went to the hood to teach the gangsters with their pants hanging down how to do the money the right way.
Absolutely. And he actually is my lawn care specialist. So, you know, big ups to him. Group economics, like I said, it gives me so much pride to have a Black man doing the yard instead of everybody else. But anyway, so as you guys can see here, we have Walter. He's going to teach us more about how to get the money. But it is said that tens of millions rather of Americans are out of work. The unemployment rate is about 6.3, but experts say it's probably more like 10. Over 40% of Black businesses have closed since the onset of the pandemic. And it says 5 million people more people actually are out of work since January. And so, you know, we know that they're still saying the $1,400 is going to come out, but it's probably going to be a couple of weeks. People are in dire straits. And so, Walter, with all that I just said, is going to teach us about multiple streams of income and behaviors, changing behaviors in order to have a different mindset about money. So what's happening, Walter?
All right, I'm sorry. Can you hear me now? Yeah, Sprint, you owe me 50 cents for that. Well, I got a list of stuff I'm going to go over, and I want to kind of be interactive, and I'm going to watch the comments, something I don't normally do, but I'm going to do it tonight and try and, you know, answer some of these real questions. So let me start off by saying this. I was in that contraption behind me. I was in the sauna, and I was thinking, man, it's hot in here. I need to bring the heat from now on. And so I was thinking, you know, I was listening to some of these, you know, some of our Black leaders, right? They're still talking the same old thing. Swing low, sweet chariot. We need Social Security. We need reparations. Yes, we do need that. But it's talking the same old thing. And I'm like, you know, cool. We put a V8 in it, or a Tesla 85 or whatever it is you drive. Put some fat on it. We go with some people and we get the ball rolling. Stop, and I don't get mad at you. Stop begging.
You're having some connection issues.
I'm sorry?
You're having a little bit of connection issues, so you might have to go in and come back out because you're pixelating really bad.
What is it? I'll be right back. Give me 20 seconds.
We'll fix it. See, the devil don't want nobody. They don't want these people to learn this game, man. The devil don't want these people to learn this game, man. When we bringing Al on the show, man. When we bringing Al on the show.
Exactly.
Oh. You caught me dancing. I'm sorry. Do I have it? Can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm all here. I'm a Black man. It's trying to kidnap me. I'm about to teach Black people something that they can use to support themselves. That was a kidnapping police. So here's what I was saying. We need to get to the point, and I'm going to steal my sister's phrase, pissed off past the point of pistivity. Period. You ain't going to never, ever, ever, ever have nothing or do nothing unless you get pissed off. It's kind of like if somebody called you fat, right? I got into an argument with somebody, and he was like, look at your big old stomach. Now, I don't have a big old stomach, but you know what I did? I lost 10 pounds since they said that, and I sent them a picture of the scale. I was like, F you. The fat man is dead. But you have to get, you know, you guys, listen. Everything I'm going to say to you tonight is public knowledge, and you can find it if you know where to look, right? But we have to get to the point where we just start taking risk. Here's what I want to say about our people, right? And I was listening to Malcolm X and some people talking about him. And Malcolm's one of my favorite people because he preached economics and Garvey and some of the things. But one thing I think Malcolm X missed, or maybe didn't get a chance to explain all the way, was his position on capitalism. A lot of our Black leaders give us the impression that capitalism is bad, right? Capitalism, I think Malcolm said, whether if you find capitalism, you'll find, shadiness or something to that degree. I don't know the exact words. But you guys, you know what? Capitalism is good. Like J.P. Morgan, Charles Schwab, all these guys, Andrew Carnegie, all these guys, the Rothschilds and the who's the rich dude? He got 40 million kids. The Rockefeller. They were some crooks, but they used the rules in their favor. So you know what we need to do? Use the rules in our favor. I don't care if it's gray. I mean, it needs to be legal, but there's some things that we can use, right? Like I was explaining to Judy on here. I know she's on here. I saw her. What's up, Judy? Right? Me and her, we spent a lot of time on the phone last night. She is in phenomenal situation. I always help it when we love it. We can help people. But going back, what I'm saying is you can use the rules to do better. Like, for instance, I was explaining to her, like the bank will take in, okay, I hope you guys are taking notes too, right? Because I want to make sure that you get this. Let's take $1,000, right? $1,000. Go ahead and put it in your hand mentally, right? This $1,000, some of you people have money sitting in the bank, and I was guilty of that. That's paying you zero. That's most people, right? So the money sitting there, they're paying us 0.1%. Bank of America takes your $1,000 and they loan it out to 9-10 people. So here's $1,000 that, let's say it was being nice and they were giving you 1%. How much money is 1% of $1,000? $10. So you big dummy, not talking about us, but I'm just like, trying to add some humor to it. You give me $1,000 and I agree to give you 80 cents a month and you're okay with that? And then that same bank turns around and then they loan it out 10 times or 9 times, whatever it is, at 10%. So what is 10% of $1,000? $100. Now times 10. 10 times 100 is 1,000. Let me be clear. If this don't piss you off, then maybe you don't have blood in you. You have 1,000 in the bank. They pay you $10 a year. They turn around and make $1,000 a year on your $1,000. Think about that for a second. That is called fractional lending. And you guys, we can, believe it or not, we can legally do some of that. We can't go all the way 10 times, but we can do some of that. We call it other people's money, right? And this is why I always say, work on your credit at all costs. Some people I talk to go, oh man, I don't know what my credit score is. Well, that's dumb. You need to know what your credit score is. I check my credit every day, like 3 or 4 times, all day. I check all my, my accounts. I just see what's going on, who I owe money. I'm always doing that because at the end of the day, you guys, honestly, what's more important? Now, I know you got kids and family and they are important, but stop using them as an excuse. Let's divide. Oh, well, money ain't everything. No, it's not. But when you walk into the bank, they want cash, or a grocery store for food for your kids. They want money, Bitcoin or something like that. So give yourself permission to be greedy. And here's what I mean by that. Get the bag. People know when you call me, my mind starts thinking money. If I'm not sleeping with you, I'm not married to you, you're not one of my kids or a family member, when you call me, I'm thinking, where is the money for me? Because this is time I never get back. Like even this time I'm spending here, this hour and a half or hour, because Dee and Gary got to go to bed. But I don't, this is time I don't get back. So if I'm wasting my time talking to a bunch of Negroes that ain't gonna do nothing, I'm losing money. I could be smoking weed. I don't smoke weed, but like Roar Cannabis, I own the stock. Donovan, thank you for that. So you have to be greedy. I was at a seminar with Donald Trump. I mean, we didn't go together, but he was there. Now he was standing right in front of me, him and his daughter, they were on stage, and Robert Kiyosaki, a bunch of people were there. And they were making the point, you know who's greedy? Is poor people. You know why? Because poor people will, and I talk about mental poor people, not people based on, their circumstance, is they will want something for nothing. Versus the guy that works 100 hours a week that has built a fortune, that didn't see his kids for 20 years and lost his relationships and built a future for 1,000 employees. That guy is seen to be greedy when the person who is working for him is like, hey, we want our rights. Yeah, I get you want your rights, but is it really my right to give you what I'm making when I started the company? So that is greed. You know what I'm saying? One of my buddies says, hey man, I make $1 million a year and I'm in $1 million house. People look at me and go, oh, how could he? But I have friends that make $50,000 and they're in a $400,000 house. How much sense does that make? I earn every year what my house is, what it's worth, and it takes you 20 years or 10 years to equal what your house is worth. Who's the greedy one? So you have to look at it as perspective, right? It's okay to want to collect wealth, and you should be greedy about it. I can promise you, everybody on this podcast, I want you to imagine for 1 second, tonight you had a stroke. Done. Your kids walk in the house, because if you have a stroke and you live alone, you're going to be sitting on the couch until they come, right? And so you're just sitting there slobbering and swinging low and doing all the stuff that people do. And your kids walk in and you cannot speak. And so your kids get to guess what to do with you. Did he eat last? When did he eat? How did he get like this? What is his condition? And where is the money so we could take time off to deal with this dude? If that happened to you, are you in a position? Wouldn't it be nice to have some money stacked, or your bills paid off, your car payments gone, your mortgage under control, so your kids it would be easier if they needed to support you? So that's kind of the stuff I'm going to be talking about tonight. One thing I do not like, and I'm going to be clear, is when people start talking money. Money's not everything. It's not. But when they start making excuses about not having it, I just zone out, period. You're like Kevin O'Leary said, you are dead to me. And maybe I won't say it to your face, but it's what I think when you leave my presence. So we need to start thinking like that. Like if you watch Shark Tank, you ever see Mark Cuban? He's a boss. He's like, I don't want to hear it. Like, we did it and we didn't have inherited. We came from nothing. Mark Cuban slept on the couch they all lived, like 20 of them in a house. You know what I'm saying? The guys from Airbnb were sleeping on the couch trying to pay rent. And so they started raising money for rentals, and that's how they started Airbnb. You see what I'm saying? So before I go down my list, I want to go through some of these comments. Dee, if you want to help me with that, and then I can answer some of your questions. So,
I have a question for you real quick. What is your opinion on the Tilray stock this week? It went up like 700% or something like that. They're saying that this is the same type of thing that happened with the GameStop stock.
Well, no. I can tell you what happened with Tilray. Well, okay, I'm not following Tilray, but I'm following the sector, Roar Cannabis, Canopy, because I have stocks in both of those. So I'm following those. I'm not following Tilray, but so I don't know if that's part of the GameStop thing. I know Aurora the drug stocks have been getting some good government information this week. They're getting clearance to do certain things, to be able to sell their drugs and do it more legally. So that's what's happening in the marijuana stocks. The downside with the marijuana stocks is weed is getting cheap. So Tilray or Cannabis, their prices are getting cut, so their profits are decreasing. So I even flirted with dumping some of my. Well, we'll see. I don't want to give you guys stock advice right now, but I don't know enough about Tilray, but I know the sector is up based on, the liberals being more favorable to weed.
Okay, so Ron Terrell, how you doing tonight? He says, what is your opinion that a lot of my coworkers and I invested in Dogecoin?
I don't know nothing about Dogecoin, but I'm going to put some money in it.
I got something in there. I'm gonna tell you this. But from what I understand, Dogecoin is like a watered down version of Bitcoin. I'm not sure how long it's been around, but it is fairly new. It started at less than 2 cents, and it's last time I checked, I don't know, it's probably about 7 cents now. So depending on how much you put in there, you probably got a pretty coin, but it's not like it's like Bitcoin, but it's supposed to be from what I heard, it's supposed to be a joke coin.
It's Doge. Yeah, it's thanks, Tara. It's Doge.
I call it Doge, but Dogecoin. Yeah, so it's supposed to be like a joke, but I'm like,
it was a meme. It was a meme, like after his dog or something like that.
Right, but so it's called as gruesome legs, and so if you're like me, he's like, I'm gonna get in on the bottom floor just in case. So, so what's your opinion?
It's fairy dust, but here's why I'm gonna buy a bunch of it. Because what happens is people they get in these movements and they push it. There's nowhere GameStop should have been $400. There's no way GameStop is not worth $50. In its greatest days, it's still at $50. I don't understand. So the Dogecoin, the Dogecoin thing, I'm going to put a bunch of money in it. When I say a bunch of money, maybe I'll look under the pillow and grab everything I can, empty out my kids' change that I was going to take them to the amusement park with. And, at 7 cents, if I spent $200, would I get like 14,000 coins? I mean, you guys, there was a time where Bitcoin was 1/10 of 1%. The first Bitcoin transaction, somebody spent 10,000 Bitcoin for a pizza across the country. Do the math. What's 10,000 times 50,000? So I like to, and here's the other thing I want to talk about with my people, mi gente, is put money. I don't care where you put it. Here's what I mean. Start a habit. People say, what if I lose money? Well, when you pop bottles, how much money do you make? When you go to Walmart and spend money on stuff, what do you make? Like I bought this sweater today. I'm just not investing. It's going to make me look better. I can go out and stand on the corner at the geriatric center, maybe get an 80-year-old lady to pay my bills, but that's not really an investment. That's a hope. So the point I'm making is when you spend money, how often do you get an investment back? So just invest, put money in, because what most people do that get wealthy is they lose a bunch of money at first. But what they do is create a habit. People say, well, what if I lose it? Keep it moving, right? If you are 50 years old listening to this and you don't have $500,000 saved, you need to ask yourself, where is the money? Did I lose it? And that's most of us, right? And most of us, we did things with money. And I know I've lost millions of dollars in investments, and I've lost so much money. I can't even, anyways, you get the point. But I still keep going. And now I've learned from experience, and I'll never lose money again like that. But I had to lose it first. Be okay. Create a habit. When I make money, or when I have money come in, regardless of where it's from, is I put most of it away. I do. I save it. I don't touch my money right now. I spend very little of it, because now I'm like, Walter, you're a grown man. There's no way in hell you should not have a bunch of money. You should have more money saved. Number one, you need to have a bunch of money saved. So where can you get money? Dee brought it up earlier. Multiple streams of income. The world is opening up right now. So me and one of my business partners, we sat down and I just drew out 7 or 8 ways that I want to make money starting right now. One, my Airbnb is open back up. Those 2 rooms back there, dun, 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 both rented, right? This sauna, I'm going to start charging people to come over. I got somebody coming over tomorrow to use it. $25, baby, right? Hey, it is what it is. The gyms are closed. You're going to give me $25 for 45 minutes? I'll take it. Right? And I don't even got to wipe the sweat off you. So there's multiple ways to make money. I was in what is it? What is that store? oh my God, the Coke company, Burlington Coke Factory. They open at 8 a.m. Who knew? I go, you open at 8? She goes, oh yeah, you should be surprised at people that are in here at 8 a.m. blowing their money. So I found a pair of sweats that I'm wearing. They were $9. I saw some sweats like this for $75 online. You know what I'm doing tomorrow when they open? And I'm going and buying every single pair of pants like this from all the stores, and I'm gonna put them online for $75. $9 at Burlington Coat Factory, $75 on my website. I mean, like, that's what Walmart does. So there's multiple things you could do.
So let me ask you this, because we've often heard that you should have 7 streams of income. Have you guys heard that before? One should have at least 7 streams of income.
At least, I mean, and
so can you
have to be careful though. Because the problem I had when I tried this the first times, I had too many things, and it's trying to drive 7 cars at once. What you need to do is get something started and then go to the next. And that's what I had to do. So like Cornucopia was the first thing we started the membership. And I was like, let me start, it's $99 a month, which is, you guys, can I ask you a question? Think about the money you spent when the movie theaters were open. If you and 4 people go to the movies, can you get out of there for less than $99? I tell people, if you can't spend, and I don't care if it's with me, you should get advice from somebody. If you can't spend $99 on your future, then what do you really care about? And I can see if you really didn't understand. I mean, I've been doing this show for months, almost 6 months.
Let me say this, because I get it. And I also, have a background in financial services. And I think the problem with people in spending money is, if it's not something tangible. Now, what I mean by tangible, of course, you guys know what I mean, is if like you go to the store and you buy a pair of shoes, right? That is instant gratification because it's tangible. I'm walking out of the store with those shoes. But if I ask you to invest, like get yourself a life insurance policy, or, it's for yourself or your kids, people don't see that as tangible because it's not something that's, depending on what policy you get, it's not going to benefit you right now. So a lot of times people are programmed to, I need to exchange the money for something I'm going to enjoy right now. So how do we change that mindset and get people to think long term when it comes to investing?
Do what I do. Think about what the future looks like. Like plan your future. Imagine what it looks like in 10 years if you're not saving money. Right now, I'm 51. I'm supposed to retire this year in December. I'm not trying to be 60 years old and having my black ass at work. I'm not doing it. It doesn't make sense to me now that I understand the rules. If I didn't understand the rules, it would be different. So what I think of is like, me and my son work together. We got rid of all his bills. We cut all my expenses, my bills. I'm still in my old ass 2006 Supercharger Range Rover, right? And I want a new car. And part of me is looking at getting a newer one because, what the hell? You got to live. But I think about my future and the things I can do. So as I accumulate money, and I'm going to talk about this because me and Judy talked about this. Me and Erica have talked about this. I've talked about this with Stacy and several people on here.
Wait. Real quick, Walter. I noticed that in that soliloquy of people that you talked to, they were all female. So I want the guys to kind of notice that.
Oh, hold up. I need to shine the light on, but it's so bright, I don't want to hurt myself. Black men, you need to stop. 99% of my clients are women. Of my African-American clients, 100% of them are women or attached to a man, or there's a man who's got a wife in the picture. 100% of my black clients, there's a woman in control of the money, of the picture. Me and her talk, period. And here's the deal, and I'm just going, you brought it up, Donovan, so you guys can send the hate mail to him. Why in the world does it take a black man so damn long to make a business decision? Like, God damn, we're talking about spending $100 or $1,000. Like, some of you guys have two rims and stereos, and You don't have life insurance for your kids? Like, come on, man. Like, you guys, we talk about men, and I watched the show last night, you know, and it was funny. That cussing preacher, I wouldn't have my kids watching it, but he made some good points. You guys will spend money in a restaurant or a bar, but won't get life insurance. So if you die, your kids can keep it moving. It doesn't make sense to me. And you guys were talking about feminism, men becoming feminine. I don't even know if I'm saying it right, whatever. And here's the, I don't want to get into, I'm not talking about homosexuals, gays. I'm talking about feminism. If you identify as a man, be that. If you identify as a woman, be that, right? You want to be Medea? Be Medea, right? So the reason I think, like, I get it, like black men have been raised by women, right? During the 60s, the revolutions and the civil rights, black men were incarcerated and we were not in the homes. I get it. And in order to get the check from the Democrats, the man couldn't be around anyways, right? So I understand all that stuff. But at what point do we say, okay, that happened, but I got it from here, baby. I got it. No, my wife, she's working right now, but my goal is to get her, well, she's not working. I'm a grown-ass man. My wife don't need to be at work. Now, she does while we're getting our groove on, but once I get in the groove, it's a wrap. I want to, and I would like to get married one day, too, so that's in the future. But, like, I want to roll over and look at my woman and go, baby, I got it. Enjoy the oil massage. Don't wash it off. Just let it sit there. You want something to eat? I got it. I can cook some egg champagne. I'll bring it up. And you just stay right here and get up when you feel like it. I'm going to go get this money. And when I get back, we hop on a plane. That is what people expect of a man, especially a black man. Like, do you guys realize? I had a white woman tell me this. I love black men. I won't even look at a white man. She goes, you guys have swag, you're strong, and you're so smart. Why is it that white women know we are so smart, but we as black men don't believe that? It's insane to me. So, like,
it's the teaching process, man. I mean, you got to understand, my sisters, that you can't teach a boy how to be a man.
Right.
You're teaching him the wrong fundamentals of the game. And when you think about why black men or black people are not investing in themselves, is one, they haven't set a realistic retirement date.
Well,
what I mean, what I mean,
I want to add to what you're saying. I'm like this. F retirement. I don't care about retirement. I do not, because it's a scam. Here's what I mean by retirement. Retire means to stop. Anytime you stop something, you ruin it. Rich people do not retire. They're always doing something. So instead of retirement, maybe it's good to think about, I'm going to do something different, because no one gets excited about retirement. In 30 years, you're going to be able to travel. No.
No, what I mean by that is setting a realistic retirement date is retiring from working for them.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Retire from working for them. And then lastly, my other point is, you got to understand that you betting on something every time you waste your money. When you play a scratch off, when you playing the lotto, you going to the casino, you're spending money and you're betting on something. So the thing is why not listen to this guy and bet on your goddamn self?
I mean, this gets really tiring to you guys. You know, like I was explaining to somebody earlier on the phone, and I was explaining to her, you know, what I did for Kanye West. And I was just like, it didn't take me and him 6 months, or me and Dougie Fresh, or, you know, all these other people. It didn't take us 6 months to get the ball rolling. I said, Kanye, listen, you want that? Here's what you need to do. Your credit score, we need to get it up. You know what I'm saying? We need to do this with this money and do this and do this. Here's what we need to do. And he's like, do it. And we did it. And I've done that with so many people. The problem I have when I get to men of color, especially, and this is, I'm just going to say what it is, you guys. And it isn't like we can't do it. I just think our self-esteem needs to rise, right? every time I go into my closet, I go, would Barack Obama wear this? And if my closet right now is half empty. I threw a bunch of stuff away, gave it to somebody else who didn't really care about themselves. I go, with Barack Obama, would he get in his car? Maybe not the year and make and model, but is it clean? Do you have stuff in your front seat? Do you have shit in the back? Is your glove compartment got stuff in there from 1986? Like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, I've been to Donovan's house. You can eat on the floor. You know, the cats do, I think. Right? Damn cats. So it starts with self-esteem. You guys, as a man of color, and I'm talking to the men and I'll get back to the group. When a man of color walks out, there's one of two things happens. Somebody goes, oh shit, they go a black dude, let's get ready. Or two, somebody, and it's normally the opposite sex, goes, oh, there's a brother. I wonder what he's about. Me and my friends, we were working for American Express, suited up. We walked into a Harold and Bell's or a restaurant full of women. We couldn't even sit down. And they were like, one girl came to the table and said, y'all got 8 black men at this table. Please tell me, what do y'all do? I said, what you mean is, what are we gonna do later? or are any of us single? And I ain't mad, I love it. But we have to get our self-esteem. And black women, if you're with the black man, lift him up. Stay on him. Don't criticize. One thing you can do to a man is, men don't want to be criticized. Women, you don't like it. So what you want to do, in order to criticize, you have to be critical of yourself. In order to see it, you got to be it. If you spot it, you got it. It takes one to be one. So just keep that in mind. So we need to, again, coming around home plate is work on our self-esteem and get to the point where you just move. You don't have to get advice with me. Go get it with somebody. And here's what I mean by from somebody that's doing it. I never talk about stuff that I'm not doing. I'm buying real estate right now. We're doing some cool stuff. Only I can tell you about it because I'm doing it. The stock options, I'm doing it. I wake up every day at 6 o'clock. I check the stocks. I watch CNBC. I see what's going on with the news. I check the trends. I listen to John Nigerian and those guys. And I go, okay, boom. I'm going to buy this stock option. And I'm going to hold it. And that's what I do. I go to college every single morning on CNBC.
Let me, how you doing, Chantel? Let me read this question to you and get your opinion on this. I want to get all you guys' opinion on this. She says, I think a lot of black men are not so much scared, but they are procrastinators, and it takes that strong sister to push him to his full potential. What do y'all think about that statement? Is it true or false?
It could go.
Adam, you go first. You don't mind insulting the group.
It could actually go both ways. I mean, you're a strong black man. You don't need nobody pushing. You're gonna be motivated every morning you wake up. You know, but the thing is when you're out here and you training these youngsters to get ready for adulthood, you gonna train them right or you gonna train them wrong. That's all it boils down to. So I don't think a strong black man needs to be motivated. He kind of knows what he needs to do, and he gonna get it done. And there's nothing wrong with relishing the fact that you're a provider. See, a lot of black men don't realize what their assignment is, what their job is. Your job is to be a provider. So if your wife doesn't want to go to work, then she gets to stay at the house and take care of the home. Your job is to go out and generate money and do what you're supposed to do. And if we embrace our assignment, then that's what it is.
Yeah, I'm in total agreement with that. But here's my thing, like in Chantel's question, she says that you need that strong sister to push him to his full potential. Here's my problem with that. If you have to do all that as a woman, you ain't got no man. That ain't no man. So, I don't need a woman to tell me what I'm supposed to do as a man. So, like I said, I understand what you're saying as in having him meet your potential, but it's kind of like what the cussing pastor said yesterday. It's the same type of thing. You don't really have a man. You guys are, not you guys, but you know what I mean? A lot of women are dating guys that ain't got no money. What are you doing dating that guy? So you don't really have a man.
I'm going to say this. Tara says, what's the woman's job? So every night we hear, if somebody say something about God, he'll go to Christians. So go to your Bible and figure out what was Eve's assignment when God put her in the Garden of Eden. She was there to be an enhancer. She was only there to help Adam, whose assignment was to take care of everything else. So the thing is, if we don't embrace our assignment, these relationships don't work. Everything Walter trying to teach us ain't gonna work. You see what I'm saying? It ain't that the sister don't want to work. She shouldn't have to if you a grown ass man handling your fucking business.
Walter?
Wow, I'm like afraid to go after that. But here's the thing. Yes, it is, in my opinion, men could use a woman to push him, because honestly, and I mean, a man should push himself, but there's nothing wrong with the woman doing it. Here's what I mean. If you take women out of the equation, there's a lot of things I don't do. I don't shave every day if you take women out of the equation. You know, this maybe I wouldn't work as hard because I do most of what I do. My kids are taken care of. If I die, they're rich. You know, I've taught them things. We're doing things together. So my kids are cool, right? I do a lot of what I do, you know, just being honest, for the attention of the opposite, you know, the opposite sex. You know, and that's my girl. It is what it is. And, you know, like women, when you understand that if you can get behind your man and push him like, hey, baby, go get it. What can I do to help us get this? He gets to the point where he's like, okay, I'm going to take care of her, ride or die, or do or die. Then both of your jobs will be easier, period. So there's this thing, thanks Anthony Brown, is we lead from the front, right? Like, man, well, it used to be okay to say that the man's job is to provide. I don't even know if that's safe anymore. We need to, right? I know that Hollywood, you see black men in Hollywood. I think Dave Chappelle's the only dude that hasn't been in a dress, right? And without, him and Mos Def, right? I ain't seen Kanye in a dress either. You get the point. So we just need to be men, but like, do we really need to be having this conversation, men? Do we really need to tell you to lead, step it up? Like, come on, man. Somebody walks in your house in the middle of the night. You're going to let your wife get up and deal with it? So why would you let her deal with the finances and the money and the security?
Well,
and a lot of reasons why I find
the way I did it, and I'm comfortable doing it that way, is you take care of everything need to be taken care of. I'm gonna make the money and you handle the finances. I make sure that the accounts have what they need in them. You see what I'm saying? I don't. Should we pay this amount on the light bill? Shit, you got enough money to pay the motherfucking light bill for a year. Go do what you need to do. The dudes need to. I don't think we should be having this conversation, but we gotta have it. We gotta have it, and I agree with one of our viewers. We gotta stop putting that pressure on them black women to lift these sorry motherfuckers up. They need to be lifted before they come in the house.
Okay, let me address Kiki's comment because I want to make sure I don't confuse you guys. And I'm not saying, you guys, let me be clear. I'm okay with dating a value man. That was the custom pastor last night saying if he ain't got shit, don't date him. I don't necessarily believe that, because you find a man that is on the move, that is because there was a point in time, where I was sleeping on my sister's couch. I lost everything. And I was like, and I had a woman, and it was rough. I felt like shit struggling with the woman by my side. I felt miserable every day. And I just kept grinding until she didn't, I didn't have to feel that way. But if a man is what I think the custom pastor should have said, if the man is doing something, he's on the move, then be with him. Because there's something called the value man. A man that's on his way, he got goals. Or a man that's on his way, but this ain't got it yet. Because Kanye said it best. He start on fries, he'd get going, and he'd leave your ass for a white girl. And that is true. I know, because I did it. I'm sorry, but I did it. I got 3 half-white kids, and Titus, he's almost clear, right? Because my son married a white woman.
right. No, but that's exactly what we're talking about. We're not talking about those type of brothers, because those type of brothers, if it's like you in your situation, you're already a go-getter. So even though you get kicked down, you're still moving. We're talking about them niggas that ain't doing shit.
Okay.
Period.
If he ain't doing nothing, then don't be with him. If he's not trying, and sometimes you guys, wow. Okay, Al. If you got to give guys a chance. If they're trying, be with them, because sooner or later, if you try something enough times, it will work.
Man, ain't nobody got time for no motherfucking trying, man. We grown. No, I'm being honest with you. And guys hate when I say it, that, look, you find somebody, you trying to build something. You feel what I'm saying? You're trying to build with them. Demetra, she relocated, her and Al, they trying to build something. She ain't got time to move all the way down here, and Al around this motherfucker don't want to get up and go to work. These motherfuckers don't want to get up and go to work, Walter.
Yeah. So let's keep the conversation, financial. Here's what I'm saying is, when I say trying, I mean they're getting up, they're going to work, they're making the phone calls, they're calling clients and calling prospects. They're out there going after the business. That's what I'm talking about. Like, there was a point in time where, my girl in the past was like, oh, and nothing's really happening yet. But she saw me making the dial. She saw me talking to clients, meet with them, and it wasn't going my way yet. And so what happens, ladies, is you say shit to your man while he's trying. I'm talking about dudes going after it. If your dude has a car wash and he's washing cars, but he's still losing money because he's trying to figure out the profit and loss, that's a dude on the move. You beat that dude up, and I promise you, as soon as he gets his shit together, he is going to leave you, because that is the reason I left my ex-wife. We were struggling, and my business partner, my boss, was making like 200 grand. And she said to my boss, I wish he was like you. And his wife looked at me and was like, just calm down. And then after, my wife went to the bathroom, she goes, you know what? Next time, bring your girlfriend. She goes, because I've been with this dude. I worked 2 jobs. I was pregnant. He was a financial advisor. His first year, he didn't make shit. I was with this dude when he was broke as hell. So this money is our money. What your wife is failing to understand is she's got to stick by you. And you guys have been doing this a year, and you're not making 200 grand, and she's already throwing you under the bus. So as soon as I could afford it and my self-esteem got high enough, I left the relationship. Now, that was a shitty move because I got kids and all that. But like, it was either me or death. That's how I felt at the time. So give your man a chance to get his stuff together and get in there with him. I had my ex-wife tell me, I don't want to work for you because I don't want to take instruction from you. I said, here's what's going to happen. My secretary, she's going to be younger. She's going to be in those tight ass heels, pants, skirts. She's going to have her hair down. She's going to smell good. And once in a while, she's going to brush my back. And it's going to be late at night one night. And I ain't going to come home that night. And I'm going to lie to you and tell you I was with my friends. But like, that is what happens when a woman, that's why you have to watch and work relationships, people at work and your secretaries and all that, because your secretaries, lady, if he's a man or vice versa, or whoever you like, you guys are at work or working on the same thing. If you don't believe me, watch Jungle Fever with Wesley Snipes. If you don't understand what I'm talking about, right? So, and I'm not saying his wife did anything wrong in the movie. Don't come after me. I'm just making the point. Right? And we always such bitches now. I gotta preface everything with I didn't mean it that way. Lord. So, anyways,
that's the internet for you.
I know, like, why are we such bitches? Can't we just say something and it just be that? So here's another thing too. Like, I want you guys to think, what's the money for? Right? What am I doing with it? Like, today, my son didn't come to work. I don't know where the hell he is. But he doesn't need to come to work today because he got his shit together financially. He paid off his bills. He's straight. He got money saved. He doesn't have to come to work. And he's like, Dad, I'm like, hey. He's like, I'm staying home today. I'm like, cool. All right. What can I say to a dude that is financially independent? Right? So he don't need me, So that's the position you want to be in. So you want to figure out what's it for. Like when my grandson comes over, And some days when he comes over, I go, oh shit, we're not getting much done today. In his tightest world, he's running up the stairs, grabbing my wine. He's up here. You saw me last week, catch him from going down the stairs. That is what I want to do with my life. What is it you want to do? And then tie your goals to that. Like if you want to go to Spain, get it, or Africa, Seychelles, Nigeria, put a picture on there, figure out what it costs, and look at it every day. If you come to my living room, I have a picture of, I have 2 dream boards of what I want my interior to look like and things that I want to do and have done. And so every time I walk in the house, I see those. My brain goes, got it. Let's keep it moving. There's a Paris behind me in Paris. I want to walk that. Like literally, I want to walk around it, walk the street. I might, it's dangerous, but I want to do that. So every time I walk out of my bedroom, I see that picture right there. And then there's a picture of New York. As soon as they open up, I'm going to be the first one there. So figure out what you want to do. You guys, retirement isn't everything. I'm going to be honest with you. But like if you make $5,000 a month and you're 40 and you save $400 a month. Okay, so let me break it down even lower. If you save $200 a month, that is not even 5% of your income. That's $200 a month over to the time you're 40 to 70 in the stock market, just every month investing in, and even an EFT or ETF and an equity fund. If it earns 10 to 12%, you guys, you will have over $500,000 in 30 years. Not even 5% of your income. You mean to tell me you can't take 5% of your income and put it somewhere where it's going to pay for 100% of your lifestyle? This is the dumb ass conversation we are having with Black people. I'm so tired of this shit. I told my sister, I said, are we talking about the same shits? Like, are we really talking about people saving 5% of their money? And I don't care if you lose it all. Lose it all. What you get is experience. Like there used to be a website called Don't Date 'Em Girl. And my friend was on it. And I said she put her experience on that website. What somebody tells you, you will forget. But shit that you go through, you will never forget. If somebody say, oh, don't date him, girl, he will slap the shit out of you once he's had some cognac. And you go, okay, well, he's cute. If he hits you, you'd be like, oh, I remember that. Trust me. So whatever it is. So experience is key. Start putting money away. Cornucopia, our thing is live for today while planning for tomorrow. If you make $5,000 and you want to spend $2,000 on vacations, I think you should do it. But I think you should take 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay, you get the point of that and invest it for your future. And I have a couple of things I'll tell you where to put it, where I'm putting it. But like, put it somewhere, period. And don't be afraid to go tell your family members, hey, you know what? I noticed that your house is paid off. Mom, why don't we do something with some of that money? Why don't your house is worth $1 million and your house is worth $200,000. You just gonna die and leave it to us? Oh, baby, when I die, I want you to have it. No, how about you give it to me where you can see it? You see what I'm saying? So we have to be like, I listen to people say all the time, oh, well, I see people going off about different subjects. I wish a nigga would. But when it comes to money, we just disappear. Done. You see what I'm saying? So, and here's the thing. I'm not going to give you a 5-point strategy because there's no 5 points. Ain't no 6 points, right? And if you think I'm rambling, go watch TMZ, right? There's some nigga shit over there, period, right? Because here's the thing. Like rambling, I see what some of you people watch. My boy's like, yo, did you see this? No, I'm watching my money, fool. Like I'm not watching TMZ. I can't tell you what so-and-so's doing and Kim Kardashian, how big her butt is. And I can't tell you what Joe Biden is doing. But I can tell you what my money and my future is doing, right? You guys go to church, you listen to a dude for 2 hours and you leave there and you leave with nothing else but motivation, which lasts you 20 minutes because before you get a black ass home, you cussing somebody out. Please do not talk to me about rambling.
Say it
period.
again.
Because there's other shit I could be doing right now, like working with my clients that actually pay me. Do you see what I'm saying?
You want to know what's funny, Walter? is I showed Al the comment and I told him exactly what you were gonna say. And he said it. He goes, "How did you know that?" I said, "I know my brother like the back of my hand."
I mean, let me get to my points. I do have some points, so maybe I could do that. One, I said, create a habit. You guys, habit is everything. Habit, habit, habit. Create a habit. Every time you get paid, put some money away. With money, you make better decisions. You guys, the relationship that I'm in should have been over a long time ago. It should have. We're not the same people. We come from different countries. We're not the same. It's a hot mess. But the fact that we have the same goals financially and we're doing things together, she'll get mad, I'll get mad, and we'll say some dumb stuff. But then ultimately we end up saying, you know what? We have plans. And that's why you see older couples, when they've built their wealth together, they can get past a bunch of that other stuff because they have stuff together. So if you date somebody, I will tell you this, make sure they're on the same page with you financially. Because yeah, there's girls out there with bigger booties that may be sexier or whatever. But like at the end of the day, when I lay my head down, are we going the same direction? I told one girl, no, I'm not dating you. I don't care how big your breasts are and long your hair is. When you leave my house, I have zero to show for it. And I can't even tell people that you were here and I did that to you, did it, whatever it is. So no, I want to focus on my future. And I think it comes with a level of maturity. And women, if you and your men are working together, building your finances, he is less likely to cheat because he will think about his money, vice versa. And if you own your own business together, he don't have no business to be out at night without you. Do you know what I'm saying? No, I can go with you, baby. I got a minivan, kids can come too, right? So those are some of the things you should do. I'm gonna hit the comments, hit you guys before I talk about how to retire in 12 to 24 months. So I promised Judy last night that I would go over this. So go ahead, and then I'm going to talk about
DG Blue 22. How you doing? From YouTube says, when we gonna talk about how to get the money?
I'm gonna tell you right now, but what else do you guys have to say? Because I do have that's my main topic, but I want to make sure we cover everything. Is there anything else I missed?
Well, real quick, there's a question people always ask me. When you talk about investing, people think that, oh, I just bought $120 of Apple stock and that's all they've bought. And they think that's going to be like $1 million seller. They only have one thing of stock. So what advice would you give somebody? I try to tell them, you just can't buy one stock. You got to continually invest.
Well, okay, hold on a second. Let's table that stock question for a minute, because I actually want to go back to when we're going to talk about how to get to the money. I always say when wisdom is speaking, we should listen. And so Walter's been on this show. I think it's been over 6 months or so. And that's all we do is talk about how to get to the money. And so I'm confused, but then I'm not confused because it makes perfect sense. A lot of us want that magic pill. It's almost like when somebody is overweight, here's that somebody over here lost 30 pounds in 2 weeks and they drank some tea. Oh, I want the tea. And it doesn't work for you. So the point that I'm making is getting the bag is not always like an overnight thing. You can scratch the lotto and you may not win. You got to work at it. And so the same thing is true for getting the bag. And I think, unfortunately, for our people, we want that quick money. I want somebody just to give me the game. But you've been given the game. All of us on here has made a plethora of money. And Walter's my brother, so I got a direct plug. But I've made lots of money just listening to him. A lot of times, and Walter tell you, when I first got before he signed me up for my first life insurance policy at the age of 23 years old, my daughter was 2. I was like, that's a bill. I don't want that. And then he got some sense into me, and my daughter and myself have been insured ever since. And so the point that I'm making is, like, there is no magic pill. There is no magic. Oh, go jump across the street and then you're going to get the money. You got to work for it. So we always talk about, especially when Walter's here, is how to get the money. But the problem is, I think we don't always listen. And unfortunately, we like to be entertained all the time instead of just really doing the work. You have to do the work. I mean, it's just, I don't even know how else to say that.
No, you said it right. And let me be clear. I'm going to stand up for this. Yes, I want you to buy my program. Why else do you think my black ass is here? It's funny when a black man is out for profit, we got something to say. I can't walk my ass into Walmart and be like, you want me to buy your product? You guys, I can promise you there's a lot of shit I could be doing right now. And there was a time and point me and my sister talked. I was like, I'm not going back to the war zone. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Because I'm losing money. There's stuff I could be doing right now. And she'll tell you, me and my girlfriend were in the car on a vacation, and I did the show. My girlfriend was pissed at me for a week. We're on vacation, and you talking to people that don't even want to hear what you got to say. She was pissed, and she was right. So here's the point I'm making, you guys. Yes, I want to make money. What else would I be doing here? Like, what's Gary doing here? I see his Cash App. He's doing this show every damn night. He should be making money. This is time consuming. D. Donovan, this is time. And I've been to Donovan has a green screen at his house. Like the whole studio at his crib. I should stop saying crib because that's us being boys, but at his house. And my sister, I know she prepares for this stuff. So like, yes, we want to get paid. And I can be honest with you, take the financial goal out of this, I'm square number 4 is empty. If that makes me a jerk, then so be it. I'd rather be hated in a beach house than loved in a boathouse. I'm trying to take care of my family.
Well, let me say this here. Scared money don't make money. Scared money don't make money.
Right.
You look at the Jeff Bezos, you look at the guy that owned Prime Trucking. They invested their money into what they believed in. You look at every one of these people that own these sports teams. They invested their money to end up owning the companies that they need to own. See, we don't want to invest in nothing. We don't want to invest in nothing. Scared money don't make money. You see what I'm saying? But you ain't scared to fuck it off on a Friday night. You ain't scared to fuck it off on all them goddamn lotto tickets that you be buying. You got a better chance of winning listening to Walter than you got fucking with that lotto every Friday night.
Yep, and they're going to
cash. I will tell you this here for your girlfriend that there are people that have listened to you that have done exactly what you said. Tara Taylor is one of them. So if y'all are here and you're asking how to get to the money, you ain't been listening. And then for somebody to say, is he trying to sell his program? The game is to be sold, not told. That's what financial advisors do. They sell you the game. You think I done LLC'd my consultation company because I just had $300-400 to fuck off? No, you're gonna pay me for my expertise.
Right, you should.
You're gonna pay me. And we're blessed to have this man to come here. You know, I never pressured him when he left. I just say, God, I'll send him back when it's time. You know, because you guys need to start listening and start doing. If you got money to fuck off on Louis Vuitton and going to the turkey leg hut and all that bullshit, then you should have some time to fuck off some money that can make you some money. If you laying down next to your mate every night and your money ain't making money, you fucking for free.
Let me just say this real quick. And like I said, we're not, you know, like I said, I always listen to Walter. I've known Walter for over 30 years. The man knows what he's talking about. And I don't follow too many people unless I know they know their shit is legit. But on Thursday night, you guys notice that myself, Demetra, and the 5-star, we're usually pretty quiet because we're listening to the money man. There's no point in us talking because when wisdom talks, we're listening and we're taking notes. And I've been making money based on what this man is saying. There is no one bullet is going to solve the problem, which answered my question in regards to people who say, let me just buy one piece of stock. He just told you how it works. So I don't understand how you are not listening to how he's spinning a story of how to get to the money based on everyday situations. You really got to be patient, listen, trust me. The man knows what he's talking about. He's been doing this since he was goddamn in high school.
Seriously. Here's the other thing. Why are we talking to one person when there's multiple people on here? That is what happens with black people. I'm going to tell you. My girl was on a plane, right? And she was like, it was half black people and half everybody else. She goes, this one black lady got out of control. When we gonna take off? We've been sitting on the runway. We've been sitting here too long. And one of the black men says, sister, you want this pilot to rush this flight? And she got ignorant with him. And I'm like, and you know what my girlfriend said? Every black person on that bus, on that plane was embarrassed. One person is representing the whole damn group. Why don't we switch that? You guys, it frustrates me beyond belief. Let me get to my
It's hard to listen to an intelligent black man like you because of the private conversations that we continue to have with broke motherfuckers.
Right.
We're surrounded by broke-minded motherfuckers, and we don't want to hear when the real motherfuckers is in the room. I don't say too much when this man is here. I'm sucking up the game. Man, I recommend you do it too. If not, you're going to be 70 years old standing in front of a motherfucking Walmart talking about welcome to Walmart.
Yeah. Today I went to a Burlington Coat Factory, and they had an 85-year-old lady, and it said, what's the word they put on their back when they're trying to stop you from stealing? Loss prevention. 99. I said, girl, I was thinking, and I almost took a picture and put it on my social media, and I didn't want to do that to Burlington or to, I didn't want to heat up my comment section. But I went, if I stole this sweater I'm wearing, what is she going to do? What loss is she going to prevent at 85 years old? She going to break a hip? That's about it. So
fucking with them young gladiators, she gonna lose her grill.
Yeah, so you guys, financial. I said I was gonna tell you how to to be financially independent in 12 to 24 months. So I'm gonna do that right now. And I did this. Me and Judy went over this last night. We had some fun. I love doing this. And again, it's a black woman. As of right now, I have like no black men as clients on my membership. And whatever, I'll go somewhere else. I don't really, at this point, I don't care. I just want you to do something. So I said, number one, and I always say, is build your credit. Go to Experian.com. They'll get your credit score, and then you get the other two. And you can do like a free trial for like 7 days or something like that, or maybe it's a few bucks. You guys, when you're running your Credit Karma and some of those Identity IQ, some of those things are not accurate. Go to the source. Experian.com will connect you with TransUnion and Equifax, and then you can get your real credit score. Even if it costs you $30 a month, is it worth $30 a month to know what the hell your credit is doing? Like, seriously. Like, come on, you guys, for the price of a hamburger and a glass of wine at a Houston restaurant, you can know what your credit is doing. Come on now, let's not have stupid conversations. So check your credit. Figure out what it is. What I tell my people is get your credit profile and let's check your credit together. And what we do is say, oh, pay that off. Right? Oh, you got this, pay that off. Like I did a scenario last night, and then me and my son were kind of talking about it, is if how to take $50,000 and live like a millionaire. Here's what I'm getting ready to do. So if you're taking notes, if you're interested, I'm going to tell you what to do right now. And the Experian Boost, Erica, I know it doesn't always work right away. You have to, what I figured out, you just got to keep paying and pay twice a month, right? Hack, there you go. So you can get your Experian Boost. There's also a company, if you're paying rent, it's called Isusu, ESUSU. They will go to all 3 bureaus and report your rent, and they'll go back 2 years for you. It's like $100, and they'll report your rent for 2 years. Also went to Self. They didn't run my credit. Self will let you pay $25 to $150 a month, and they will. So let's say I agree to do $150 a month over 12 months through self.com. They will put. So let's say I agree to save $1,500 or $1,600 over 12 months or $1,800. They will show that as a debt on my credit report, and every month I save, they'll make it look like I'm paying off a debt. And realistically, it is a debt to myself, right? So this is what so this type of stuff. I'm on YouTube all the time. Google companies that will not run your credit, that will do a soft pull, like there's jewelry accounts and things. I don't recommend you buy jewelry, but you can open the account, right? I went to Care Credit through Synchrony Bank, and they gave me $10,000 on the spot. Just ta-da, right? And it's for whatever you want to do with it medically, but still, it's that $10,000 showing in my credit report is helping me, right? I had friends, family, my sister, people put me on their credit card so I can inherit their good history. You can do everything. Every point matters. So there's some of the things. If you have collections on your account and they're fairly new, just pay them off. I know on YouTube, people say if you have a collection, don't pay it off. But you know what banks are doing now is they're looking not just at your credit score, they're seeing if you have a collection account. It's like, you big dummy, you want to borrow $200,000 to buy a house, but you got a $75,000 collection? We're not loaning you shit. That's how they think now. It's changed. So it makes sense to pay some of these things off. Like what I was telling, me and Judy talked about last night is a lot of us own homes or have real estate that we can use to refinance and pay off all our credit cards and wipe the slate clean. For those of you that have 18 credit cards, 6 credit cards, 3, 4, and a mortgage and a car payment, imagine if you just had one payment and it was at 2.5%. And you can stretch it out for 30 years. Now, some people will say, well, why would you put your car on your 30-year mortgage when it's only 5 years? Well, because you are creating a habit. If someone has credit card debt, it isn't like they're going to pay it off in 5 years and it's going to be gone. It's a habit. That generally means that you spend more money than you make and you have a behavior thing you need to adjust, right? So somebody has money on a credit card, it's longer than 30 years. It's for life until somebody gets in and shakes up the situation and helps you make an adjustment. So by doing stuff like that, if you can take $2,000 a month and turn it into $1,000 and still get all the same things that you were paying on and add a Mercedes or Rover. Eric, I'm talking to you, baby. Because it's funny, I'm going to talk about Erica. I know me and her talk all the time. And when we started talking, she was kind of scared. And we started talking and she was like, I bought JP Morgan. And I know she bought some stock and she 10 times her money. I told her, I said, girl, I looked up her account. I was like, you 10x'd your money, like 10x'd. Like I invest 100 and there's 1,000. She did exactly what I told her to do. And then this debt and that mortgage and we do this and that. And now, the conversations we have, all we talk about for the most part is buying real estate and buying that Range Rover that she could totally afford now, like totally go get. And as a financial planner, I would say go do it. Because now you have to enjoy your life, right? So let me move on with my point, right? So here's what I would do. I tell people in 12 to 24 months, I don't care where you are financially, you could quit your job and do something fun. And I'm going to walk you through it right now. Let's say my credit is bad. What I want to do is I want to take every dollar I can get and I want to pay off my collections. I want to go to Self. I want to go to some of these companies, have people add me on and build my credit score, right? What people will do then, and let's say it takes you a year, they will then loan you money. And from being able to loan, and I'm going to give you a strategy. So, and this is what we talked about last night, and I hung up the phone. I was extremely elated. I said, do you realize that we could go to Corinth, Texas, Conroe. Thanks, Erica, for that tip. We could go to some of these places and we could buy land. Let's say we bought a piece of property for $50,000, right? Done. I worked on my credit and I got somebody to loan me money to buy this land. Or I found somebody that's owned it forever, because no one ever does that, owns it and just does nothing with it, right? Most people buy land and they sit on it, because you know people that own land and they haven't been there in 10 years. Buy that piece of land. So let's say it's 50. We put 20 down, which means we could borrow 20 with our good credit and have the bank finance the other 30,000 on the land. So we're out of pocket very little. Then what we do is we use our good credit and we go to those companies out there like Fund and Grow. And there's a bunch of companies out there that will loan you money based on your credit score. Last night we talked about buying a piece of property and then going out. You ever see these geodesic domes, these white domes, these tiny homes? Do you guys realize that people are paying $75, $100, $200 a night to stay in an Airbnb in Texas? And so, like right in you guys' neighborhood. So, Joshua Tree, you name it. So, what you could do, these domes cost like $17,000 each. And then you can put a hot tub, jacuzzi, a barbecue, propane, solar panels. You can hook it up, a deck for 50 grand. We built 2 of those. We borrowed the 50,000 times 2. We borrowed the money with our good credit. Now you think about, okay, what is my payment on 100 grand? You know what I'm saying? Maybe depending on how you borrow it, maybe it's 800 a month or 1,000. Do you realize if you had 2 of these structures, tiny homes, cargo nets, whatever, tents, container homes, and they paid you $150 a night and you had 2, that is $300 a night. Let's say you only rented it for 15 nights a week. 15 nights times $300 is how much money? $4,500. What is my payment on the $100,000 loan? Depends on how I borrowed it. Maybe let's say it's $1,000. $1,000 minus 4,500 is 3,500. Then I still have to pay on my other debt, the land, which they'll let you finance for decades, and then whoever I got the money from. So you pay them off, and then at the end of the day, maybe you have $2,500. After you pay all your debts, the land, everything, the financing, you still have $2,500 renting out your property for 50% of the time. You know what you do? You repeat that. Now that you realize, that's why I say when you buy real estate, buy your investment real estate before your home. If you bought your home, cool, it's done. Let's keep it moving. But buy your investment real estate first, because when you buy property, they'll use the income from your investment real estate as income. Then you go and you repeat this, the 2 domes, and the land was $150. So if I can get the $150 loaned to me based on my income and my phenomenal credit, I have 2 properties that are paying me $2,500 each. That's $5,000 a month. Can I ask you a question? Those of you guys that live outside of California, can you live on $5 grand a month? All day. You could do it right here. You can live in California for less than $5 grand, because you guys, you know what? Most people in California do. Right? So you can't do that. How much money did I say you had to come out of pocket with? None, or very little. So wouldn't it make sense to build your credit and then borrow that money? Earlier, I talked about the banks taking your $1,000, giving you $8 a month. Lord have mercy, $100 a year, loaning it out 10 times at 10%, and then them bringing in $1,000 a year while they give you $10 a year or $100 a year. Excuse my French. That's where it is. So think like the bank. And you guys, here's the other thing. People say, well, what if the real estate don't work? You bought a piece of property for 50 grand. You spent another 100 grand building 2 cool structures, fully furnished with bathrooms, hot tubs, jacuzzis, decks, barbecues, all that on the lake. You could live there. Have a place to kick it. Like, seriously, if me and my friends back when I was 25 years old could say, hey, man, there's 5 of us. Each month we put in $200 and we got a place we can go to anytime we want and kick it on the lake with hot tubs and take our girls, I would have been number 1 in that investment.
And I was going to say, too, to your point about the young people, there are young people running circles around the older people because they're like, well, what do we got to lose? Unfortunately, we as older people, we get stuck in our ways. And you're hearing about the millennials that ran roughshod all over the stock market, a couple of weeks back. And so they've just figured it out. They're also, investing in real estate. They have that do or die mentality because at the end of the day, they see what's up the road. They don't want to give a corporation or whatever 30, 40 years and then go home and die. And so they figured it out. So if they can figure it out, I don't understand why it's so hard for us to do it. But first, we have to lose fear. You have to.
Yeah.
Let me just speak on that. Just like what I said yesterday and I've said earlier in the week and on other shows. Stop listening to the failed generation. And I'm sorry if it offends you. If you're from the civil rights generation, you have failed. You have failed economically and all that other stuff, because what I'm saying is untrue, where are the generational businesses that you guys built based on affirmative action and all the opportunity that you guys have? Where's the generational wealth that's been passed down? Why are we and millennials and generations after us almost have no literacy in how to deal with the money? So stop listening to grandma and grandpa. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And I'm not talking about all of them. I'm talking about, the ones that we're talking about. They have nothing to show. They have nothing to show but that little house. Just like Walter said, they're sitting on the house. The equity is there. They ain't doing shit with it. You say, hey, I need, da-da-da. They won't do it. They won't do it. So stop listening to those people. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
You guys, and listen to people that are doing it. I hear people all the time, and I see one of the members here, and that's good that you have a credit repair business. That's good. But you know what I like to teach people how to do is to build your credit. Number 1, you guys, credit repair, what they should say is build your credit, because I see all these guys on YouTube never pay your collections. What they're saying is you borrowed money and you're giving the bank that you signed a legal agreement with, you're giving them the middle finger. You're saying, F you. I borrowed the money from you. I signed the paperwork. And now I'm saying I can't pay you. And then I'm going to swing around because I saw somebody on YouTube tell me not to pay my collection. You are defaulting on something you agreed with. You guys, seriously, this is where banks are going now. And you guys, I know this from experience. I had an old collection from years ago, and everybody was like, don't pay it. It's going to fall off. And I had one of my finance companies go, Walter, if you want money from us, you need to pay that. Because why in the hell would we loan you money if you have a little collection that you're not going to pay? Like, think about that. Would you loan somebody $100,000 that has a $40 collection on their credit report? I mean, like that. Maybe that used to be the thing because the banks went off FICO scores, but those days are dead. I got somebody right now that makes $100,000 that had a student loan going default, and their mortgage is stuck in purgatory. Period. Because this is the new way of thinking. So when somebody says to me, and I'm not to beat the person up here that does credit repair, I think you would make way more money doing credit building, because credit repair just means you effed up and you're not owning up to what you did, period. So when someone says my credit score was 520 and now it's 720 because I erased everything, what you did not do is erase the behavior. So you're going to be back to 520. Do not kid yourself. When you tell somebody that you owe money, I ain't paying you, I'm going to wait for you to fall off, you are screwing them and you're screwing you as an individual, your morals, everything. I know because I've done it. I've not paid people. I've told creditors like Donald Trump, kiss my ass, I'm not doing it. But it's the wrong thing to do. The new day and age is the banks are now looking at you. They're looking at every move. Do you realize there are over 300 credit reporting agencies? We focus on 3, then plus the 5, LexisNexis and some of the other ones. There's 300 of them. You really think that they're dumb enough to say, oh, they're not going to pay the collection, it's going to fall off, and we ain't going to find it? You guys, and here's the thing, and we'll kind of come around home base. You guys, as Black people, you are endangered. Endangered. Like, it's a wrap. Like, here's what I mean. In 10 years, Black people are they going to be in chains, or we're going to be running things? You guys think I'm kidding? Like, when you look on these platforms, it is women running the show, period. There's no race in the human race that has ever excelled, taken over control without the man being involved. And I'm not being sexist. And I know women, when I've dated women and we heard of something in the alley, she got behind me. She didn't go, I got it. Somebody, we hear noise in the house and she go down first. She'll never do that. The bill come, oh, she's slow to move. So at what point did it become okay for our Black women to carry the bag? Stop that shit, and I will never relent. So Black men, like, when you call me, be ready to go, or don't call me. Don't spend 2 hours on the phone with me and tell me you got to work it out or think about it. Like, come on, man, be a grown-ass man. And if you ain't got it, you ain't got it. I would rather you say that. And that's the way the world works, you guys. Right now, all you and I say we as a people voted for Joe Biden. And really don't matter who you voted for because they're all crooks. Here's what Malcolm said about liberals. At least with liberals, with the conservative and the new Republicans, because the old Republicans were the one fighting for Black people, by the way. In the 50s and 60s, they were the one coming to our defense. When the Democrats showed up to burn the church, the Republicans showed up with the water hose. Just do your facts. All the major Martin Luther King, Malcolm, they were all Republican. Now, I know things have changed and it's become more white power, and that's unfortunate. But like Malcolm said, at least with the conservatives, you know what they want. You know they're coming to kill you. With the liberals, it's wolf in sheep's clothing. Joe Biden's been in office. I think he signed almost, somebody said 100 executive orders. How many has he signed for Black people? Not a goddamn thing. So like, it breaks my heart. And it's like, and you guys, I don't care what you say about Trump. He was a jerk. Jerk. Like Jerry Maguire, like Renee Zellweger and Jerry Maguire. He's a jerk. But sometimes we have to separate the baby from the contraction and go, what do we, like the fact that I live in a fire zone, it makes me keep more water and I keep my trees cut because I know there could be a fire. What Black people have done is said, oh, I know that the fires, and we ain't worried about that. They said they're going to take care of us. The only person that can take care of you is you. So, and coming around home base, you guys, work on your credit. You can repair it or you can build it. Add stuff. There's a bunch of things you could do. And maybe we could have one of these meetings, like maybe next Thursday, we could just talk about credit solely, if that's what you guys want, where we could build our credit. Like me and my sister, here's the cool thing, you guys, and you could do this with your family. And people say don't pay but discharge. You guys, here's what I'm trying to tell you. The rules have changed. It's not, okay, they're going to take the debt off my credit report and I ain't going to deal with it ever. There's 300 credit reporting agencies and some of them have that debt. You ever had something pop up that you thought was gone? Puff the Magic Dragon is back. No, they just moved it somewhere else. You guys, the credit reporting agencies are not dumb. They're not. So if you have a responsibility, and guys, can I ask you a question? If you paid your bills, wouldn't that make you a better person? Wouldn't it make you stronger? Forget if it showed up on your credit. If I owe T-Mobile $500, and even if I said I can give you $250 and they said, oh, wouldn't that be better than just giving them the finger? I used the phone, I made the calls. Most of the time when you're disputing a debt, it's your fault.
I'll tell you a story. I'll tell you a really quick story and we're going to wrap it up here. When I moved to Illinois, I first moved in this apartment in Illinois, got a knock at the door, and it was Rent-A-Center or one of those rent-to-own furniture things. And they're like, we're here to get the furniture. I'm like, you must be mistaken. And they told me the person's name. I said, well, maybe they lived here before. And so I had to convince them that it wasn't me. So finally, like what were they going to do, right? So I thought about it. And I'm like, how miserable do you have to be on the run with furniture? I mean, these people come with the truck and and knock at your door and try to get your furniture. And I'm like, well, that can't feel good. You like, I can understand you hiding a car maybe, but furniture, like what if it was me, with the furniture? What, are they going to come in and lift up the couch and the bed or whatever it was? I mean, it's like, so I agree with you. Just pay the shit.
It makes you stronger, period. So, because guys, really, if you want somebody to loan you money, don't you think you should deal with your past responsibilities? It's just the way it is, and it will make you feel better. So I know people, you guys, believe me, I watch all these YouTube guys on TV, but the fact that we're still arguing if you should take care of your responsibilities is mind-blowing to me. Yeah, you guys, next time we get together, let's talk about some growth stuff, right? Let's talk about what is funny. One of my boys was like, Walter, what are the Jews doing? So they ain't talking about this shit. They ain't got a rogue Jew out there like popping up on the screen talking about this ain't shit. No, they making moves. One of my friends, and he's a good friend of mine. He is now. We used to be enemies. And he said, I got the best lawyer. He's gonna shit. He sent me all these videos and articles of him dealing with everybody from Michael Jackson and whoop-de-whoop. He's a Jewish dude, and he's like 80. And it's crazy. In the article, the Jewish guy goes, yeah, like half of my clients are African American. You guys, where's the black lawyer? Where's the black business manager? Where's the black publisher? Like, seriously, that's the stuff. Let's, as black people, go after the areas where black people go. We listen to music. We buy clothes. I started Verbal Herb. Yeah, V with a B, H-E-R-B. Yes, I'm promoting my money again. Sorry. I started the clothing line. D got Dimitri K. Like, Donovan, come on now. Let's start something. We can do it together. So
Donovan got some clothing line too. Put it on up there, brother, and you can get a t-shirt from there too.
Come on, man. Donovan. We'll talk to Donovan. So, you guys, go for it. This is what you should be doing in the morning when you wake up. Turn on something that's going to make you stronger, be it mentally, health, workout, or financial. When you go to bed, do the same thing. You guys, on Netflix and Amazon, there's so many things on finance. Like there's a movie called The Men That Built America. It's hours long. And it's JP Morgan and all the old dudes and the shit they did to get money. And it's gangster. It's illegal, borderline, but it's brilliant. And I go, damn, I wish I could do that right now. But I'm saying it was legal.
Right.
The legal. People say, and I'll kind of end with this. Oh, the rich people, they get tax breaks. Do you know who donates to the politicians? Rich people. I don't care about AOC or Nancy Pelosi or whoever it is. Leave Jeff Bezos alone. You dumbasses. He was going to open up in New York and you pushed him out. So he went somewhere else. And there's 100,000 jobs especially during the pandemic. You don't think they could have used those Amazon jobs for the hood to keep it floating? So no, leave Jeff Bezos alone. His parents loaned him $250,000 to start Amazon when he was pushing used books. Do not tell me that they didn't have their doubts loaning a book dude $250,000 and his wife that went all in, and all the stuff they went through. You guys, stop doing that. Stop cutting yourself short. Go all in. If you lose it, go all in again. What else are you doing with the money? Right? So anyways, that's what I'm talking about. If you want to hit me up. Somebody funny. Erica said I never met a poor Jew, and I know a lot of Jews. Because you know what they talk about money. Every time I went out to dinner with Jewish people, my Jewish friends, as soon as they sat down, they started talking about money. And if it was men and the wives were there, the wives was just like glowing in the fact that my man has got his stuff together. You guys, we could do that.
Okay, so Donovan, what you got to say on getting out of here?
cover that? Yes.
Hey, like I said, I'm just going to tell people, you can't learn about money from broke people. That's just the fact. You got to go with the people that have the money or have the knowledge of how to get the money. And Walter has a background working with Kanye, athletes, and all that other stuff. And by the way, Kanye's a billionaire. So, you got to go with what you know. I mean, and sometimes instead of always trying to talk, you need to listen, because there's a message in the music and what he's saying. So
my final thoughts are, broke is a state of mind, period. If you think broke, you're going to be broke. It's just the way it is. Everything starts in your mind, and then you have to believe it and then conceive it, and the rest is history. So, Gary?
Money make the world go round. Money talk, bullshit walk, man. But always remember, scared money don't make money. And that's real. Say, man, it's a reason why we the best in the business. I want to thank our guest tonight, my man Walter Couture from cornucopia.com. My good friend, Donovan Sadiq. The Queen, Demetri K. And I am the 5-star general. Tomorrow night, Free Flow Fridays. We're going to interact with y'all. We're going to talk about a little bit of everything. Know me, I might be talking about they selling pussy at the church again. You never know. But ain't no telling what we're going to talk about tomorrow night, so you got to tune in. Until then, we'll holler at you.
That's funny.